Okay.
Dominance in the lobby. It's not going to be so easy.
Today, you won't survive by hiding. Fight smarter, adapt faster, and deliver when the pressure is at its peak.
Welcome to the survival stage of the BMWC at EWC 2026 in Paris.
Diabba's back to back. 3 players versus 2. Joker off in the distance.
အမနီကပွဲဥမပြန်ပြရင်ဖြစ်ဆို
Immediately, QZ relies on his
ပလီယာပွဲတွေဝင်လာပြီဆိုမှကျွန်တော်စတော့
but he knows they've got his back, and in a 1 versus 3, can he make it work? Mormon now bleeding out to the zone. E-Arena will fall in the face of Diabba for a back-to-back chicken dinner. This is brilliant. There's really not much more for them to do here. Hoxie wants to try and hold his nerve in the face of Alpha 7, but they haven't lost a player yet.
Hello guys. Hello everyone. Welcome to my stream.
The final shot, and there's a burn down on the last player for the South Korean side. I think that's by far the cleanest take we've seen of a compound from Alpha 7 today.
အကီယာဟင်း brother မင်္ဂလာပါပြန်အားပေးမယ်ဟုတ်ပြီ brother စပြီဟာလားခဏနေသူ့ဟိုဖြစ်တော့မှာကျွန်တော်ဟိုအစင်ရောပြေးရလား
trying to make a play all by his lonesome self. The Rebel goes down, and now they're gone. DK said,
it's done.
Yeah, see you later, Alpha 7. This is our game to win.
But again, like, Alpha 7 takes a desperate last-moment dash coming in now for our teams with 6 more matches to play. We are going to be heading straight into to kick things off.
ကဲမနီးမှာကွာမနီးမှာပတ်ကျူပြန်စားကြည့်ရကွာပတ်ကျူမဆော့တော့တာကျွန်တော်ဟို2021နဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကျွန်တော်4နှစ်ကျော်5နှစ်ရှိသွားပြီသိလားเนาะဆိုတော့ကအခုပြန်ရောက်လာပါပြီဆိုတော့မြန်မာအသင်းကိုလာအားပေးရ Okay
survival before we head over towards those finals. Let's just find out who our top 6 will be.
ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒါတကယ်တော့ပတ်ကြည့်ပြန်ဆော့မလားဆိုမဆော့ပါဘူးပတ်ကြည့်ကတော့ပြန်ဆော့မှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဒါပေမဲ့မြန်မာအသင်းကိုတီးတန့်လာအားပေးရ
Tiamba right now on an average damage count of 1.
ဟုတ် game 7ကိုစဆော့မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်เนาะမနေ့က game 6ထိပြီးသွားပြီကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာအသင်းကဟိုဗာလဲကျွန်တော်31မိနစ်ရထားတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီပွဲမှာသူတို့ဒီနေ့တော်တော်ယုံရမှာဒီနေ့တော်တော်ယုံလို့မှမရဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့တော်တော်ယုံရမှာတော်တော်ယုံမှကိုရမှာပြောတာနားလေသူဒီမှာကြည့်ကောင်းတယ်ကျွန်တော်လည်းမနေရမှာစပြီးတော့ game 5ကမှပြန်ပြီးတော့စကြည့်ရနားမလဲစရာတော့မရှိပါဘူးပတ်ကြည့်ဒီည game ဆိုတော့ wide အားပေးမှာဟုတ်တယ် brother လားအတူတူအားပေးကြအောင်
5 placement points essentially when you're getting down to the wire. Every single team will know the importance of just going those few minutes further deeper into the game. Alpha 7, they definitely want to try and get up towards the top 6, break into it solidly. Well, they are there currently, but you know, keep that momentum going to be able to sow the seeds of victory.
Yeah, they were able to penetrate into the top 6 yesterday, which is fantastic.
It came at a
cost, right? There was a lot less aggression coming through from them. They were relying on lucky games, and I think for them, I'm hoping that yesterday was a bit of a wake-up call. I hope they got back and they weren't happy with that top 6. That's what I'm hoping for right now for Alpha 7. I'm hoping they go back to their old antics, a little bit more aggression.
စခွင့်လေးချေပါအောင်တောင်းကတ်နေမဟုတ်ဘူးထထတောင်းကတ်ထားပါပွဲတွေပါလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တို့နည်းနည်းဟိုဗာလေအဓိကပွဲအဓိကကျွန်တော်အဓိကမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတော့ပွဲကိုအဓိကမြင်စေခြင်းလို့အားကြောင့်နည်းနည်းတေးထားတာ
But this year, it's just not been it. Anyway, let's drop in with some of our other teams. Wolves right now, it's just not working. It really is not working for them at the moment at all. Again, that cohesion, talked about yesterday, not quite there. Feels like some of the rotates towards the end game feel a little sloppy.
For 7.
But honestly, I do think that they have some strong players on side. I mean, Elementrix really.
အမြဲအားပေးရဲ့ပတ်ကြီးကမဆော့ဘူးဟုတ်တယ်ဗျာကျွန်တော်လည်းပတ်ကြီးကမဆော့တော့လေတော့ကောက်ပဲ Arena Break ပဲတော့ဆော့နေတဲ့ကိစ္စကိုဒါပေမဲ့မြန်မာအသင်းလာအားပေးရတယ်
PMWC EWC
YouTube မှာလည်းလွှင့်တယ်လောလောဆယ် TikTok မှာလည်းလွှင့်ထားတယ်နှစ်ခုနှစ်နေရာပဲလွှင့်တယ် Facebook မှာတော့မလွှင့်ထားဘူး
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's something we've been saying.
ဟုတ်ဒါ YouTube မှာစမ်းကြည့် restream ကိုရမလားမရဘူးလားဆိုစမ်းကြည့်ရ
You need to have all cylinders firing to make sure your engine's pushing as hard as it can. And it's potentially something for a couple of our other teams to be considering. We talk about star players quite a lot, and I feel like
စတော့ခဏနေစအောင်ဟုတ်လို့သူတို့ဟိုအဖြစ်နေတယ်လက်နွေးနေရဘာလို့လုံနေလို့ရှိတယ်ခဏနေစအောင်
Hyunbin respectively. They do need to have the rest of the team with them. We have seen that from both of those two rosters, though. I'm hoping
ဒီပွဲဒီနေ့6ပွဲထပ်ဆော့ရမှာ
the brains on Nongshim.
ဒါပြီးွားရင်ဒီဥစ္စာပြီးွားတော့မှကျွန်တော်ဟိုကလွှင့်မှာဗါလေပတ်ဟိုက Arena Break လွှင့်မှာ
the target as we break into the day with our first match. It is
မနေ့က Arena Break မှာအကျုံးခံထားတော့ဒီနေ့ပြန်ကျုံးမှာ
Rondo is where you can gain the points. It's where you can get those eliminations. It's where you can set yourself up with a 39-point game and right now, this could be the difference between you and top 6 and staying there. For some teams like Nongshim Red Force, they could grab themselves a massive game from top 6. They're currently in 6th place.
စပြီ game 1 စပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Tiamba, however, I think their momentum is legendary coming in from day one. I don't think they're going to be stopping anytime soon. They're feeling good about themselves. Milu was practically beaten.
Okay မှာ YG ကအဆင့်73နေရာမှာ31နဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့သူတို့ဟိုအပွားကောင်အနေနဲ့တက်ကြည့်လိုက်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်18မှတ်ပဲกว่าသေးတယ်ကွာဆိုတော့သူတို့ရုံးလို့ရတယ် chicken လေးကြီးရဖို့လို့ chicken လေးကြီးရဖို့လို့ chicken ရမှသူအမှတ်တရတက်လာမှာအမှတ်ဟိုဖြစ်မှာအဓိကသူတို့နည်းနည်းစိတ်ဆော့ဖို့ပဲဒါပေမဲ့ YG အရင်ဆုံးဆင်းသွားပြီဟဲ့ what the hell
it kind of already is the question.
သူအရင်ဆုံးဆင်းသွားပြီ
See if they're going to get stuck in nice and quickly here because Yulin is very close to this playing path flank. Neox Factory a little bit further afield.
ဒီပွဲက recall ပါရနော်ပထမဆုံးပွဲက recall ပါရသူတို့သိလား so
yeah Yulin definitely going to be the position that most teams will be dropping towards here. Neox is a bit of a meander, right? It's a bit of a walk to get over there, so Yulin's going to be very hot at the moment. Doesn't really support as many teams, so you are going to see things start to pop off very soon. I almost kind of want to come off the map feed right now and just go straight to Yulin because it's going to be absolutely hectic in that location going forward. We can always take a look at the circle later. I think right now we want to see what happens there. Who's going to profit the most in that location? We're heading down towards Danqing. Come on, I beg.
အောက်က KRH ဆိုတဲ့ကောင်တွေကတော့မျက်လုံးချက်မရှိတော့ဘူးအဲ့ဘောင်းကတီးဝတ်ပြီ what စားလာတွေကတီးနေပြီအောင်ကြီးဦးမစားဦးတွေတီးနေပြီ
Opening up over towards Wolves already, and Alpha 7 looking to profit.
Furia going at it with the knife there. Taken that strike over towards Nongshim Red Force. I think the majority of Nongshim Red Force have gone down. They're going to look for those recalls on the outside.
ကောင်းနေရောက်ကြီးစားလာတွေကကျုံးနေကြပြီဟဲ့စားလာတွေကကျုံးနေကြပြီ
Already had 3 teams
အစပဲရှိသေးတယ်
basically fully lose on this hot drop. It's looking like we might get another one with 721 GS going low, going down, and AL want to get stuck into Maple, a powerhouse on side. Already stepping up to the fight with Goat Team as Pubgm goes down on the off angle to a shot from, I think that may have been from Scarface. Oh no, Catch.
I mean, Catch as well as Wrestle Alpha currently taking down 2 separate teams. This is why I wanted to get off that map feed straight away because this is an incredibly dense hot drop over towards Yulin right now. So many teams on the outside. RRQ also looking inwards, but they are trash loot for the time being. Yangon Galacticos defending champions here now looking to get a little bit more done with AGAL who came off the back of a big win yesterday. Final Miramar. Themselves up for success towards the end game. They've already got themselves 2 elims.
Okay, sorry.
More than this, getting a big points buffer at the start of the day where they had kind of a shaky start yesterday is going to be a really big boom for them going forward.
Hopefully trying to levy that one, get that one on side. Scarface stepping out for Ulf, gets across, uncontested right there. Sportsman at the back line.
YG တယောက်တော့သွားပြီ
And he was caught unawares.
YG ကတယောက်တော့မာနဲ့တော့ဟဲ့
And pushes him back, leaves them a little bit worse for wear.
E-Arena just took down their outpost, honestly, for Ulf. So Solus actually out over towards that northern side. That leaves Ulf in a kind of an awkward situation now. It's do or die for them. They are all inside of Yulin. There is no one on the outside edge. Ulf could go down right now. They're starting to play a little bit more passive now. This is a good approach for them. They're going to play over towards the pagoda and figure out an exit.
Orange.
Towards the east here, though, John. That's a possibility. It's in the direction of the circle, but you're going to have to give up eliminations for that. Are they willing?
And they also don't have vehicles here, Blank, right? They got stuck straight into the hot drop. They were expected to be able to regroup later on as Maple goes down. Thierry able to hop in through the window and get that flush. But yeah, for Ulf, it is pretty dire. Aaron has managed to find a vehicle there and does get on the road heading south. Might crash in towards Geek as they move up to potentially pinch this one through. So danger for Ulf on all fronts. I mean, you're absolutely right. That arena flex out worked really very well. And that's going to slow things in Yulin down.
But that feels like a bit of a mystery coming through from Ulf. Honestly, for E-Arena, it was clear before the tournament ever started.
Why do you
Towards stadium side, they don't just stay in stadium. They like to have outside outposts. And for Ulf there, that's a little bit of a poor read, in my opinion. And Solus pays the price for it. And for a hot drop there, which could have been absolutely monumental for them, because Scarface was certainly feeling it, suddenly you're having to leave some of these eliminations on the table. Quizzout finds Aching from Tiamba. And E-Arena looks to send out over towards the northwest side. RRQ moving down towards the southeast, looking to poke their nose in over towards Yulin, but we're on board with Furia, another team that was doing fantastically well yesterday. Right now, Ayala, one of the top players, currently down. We're in ball with the coach corner. Honestly, the coaches, they look happy at the moment for Furia.
Yeah, you're pony.
We'll see for how long.
They're going to be holding on the inside.
Why do you have it on the hobby, brother?
Pointing at it for you there, but they would jump onto the Alpha 7 solo, who they've just taken down as well. So Alpha 7 now in Neox, in this Yulin hot drop, in a crucial route out. They need to try and find it, or it could be all over for them. A very, very difficult spot for them to find. E-Arena been playing spoiler. A jump around the corner, those were back in with Furia. Chief trying to find keep themselves going. The engine is roaring.
Once again, Igor's a great approach here from him. Keeping things
going
like you say, on the exit.
UAE the gun short high. UAF the gun short. AG the gun short. A7 knock on me channel. I got to go to a corner. I got to pull it from home. Someone's the end of the gun.
For the revive, but all right, I mean, that's how you do it.
Revive all of you.
7 eliminations. What a dangerous game right now for Alpha 7, yet they've come away with 7 eliminations. But hell, John, this is good for Alpha 7. This is what we want to see. I don't want to see you guys going early on. I want to see you flexing that close quarters combat. And this is very, very promising. Very, very promising.
E-Arena have been an absolute nightmare to the solos on the north side. They've gone and sent a duo down to one recall tower. They took a solo out. They've sent to another recall tower, another solo gone. That has changed the dynamic in Yulin so dramatically. It looks like they might have been trying to catch out a player from Alpha 7 again on that egress, but Quizzout does manage to slip on through that net. And E-Arena now sending a duo in towards Yulin itself.
Massively playing spoiler here. For E-Arena, I mean, it's a good play, right? The closest res beacons on that northern side where the approach is good outside of Yulin is around stadium area, and they maintain most of the control off the back of those drop spots. Pulling this out on day 2, interesting strategy as well for E-Arena, because they clear out suddenly a lot of space, and then they can wrap into Yulin, start taking down teams, and they might just be getting rid of full squads.
Trying to find the dregs, the remnants. Interesting that Quizzout heads up to their original backup recall tower on this spot instead of going a little bit further west. Or maybe Alpha 7 will be able to get back to full form. Bolstering. Revo very much trapped inside of Yulin at the moment, but as a solo, he will be recallable.
KIA ကောင်းနေရတော့မျောလင်းချက်ကိုစကွက်ဝါဝိုက်သွားတယ်ငါလည်းကိုအဲ့ကောင်မျောလင်းချက်ကိုမရှိတော့လားမနေ့ကတည်းကကိုရီးယားကောက်တယ်ဟောမျောလင်းချက်ကိုမရှိတော့တယ်ကျုံးပြီကျော် okay
exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament set which you'll be seeing all in game fantastic set overall
ရီကောကဘယ်နှခါပြန်ခေါ်လို့တခါပဲပြန်ခေါ်လို့ရမလားသူတိုင်ရှိတိုင်းခေါ်လို့ရနေရလားမဟုတ်မလားတခါခေါ်ပြီးတေးဝိုင်းမရတော့မလား
They won't last forever. Make the most of
Lu
the
mi
last
yoi
day
vi
here.
ko ta wa ma
Replay.
chu sao ni
Okay,
ha. Ho
necessary
bi.
with a nade. Okay, just steps out for the spray down. Wolves have been piecing themselves back together here. They are in currently 4th place and a lovely 2-piece.
Ai wai chen na kaung lit twa bi.
On side. It's been
2 ယောက်လစ်သွားပြီဗျ
pretty good for the squad. Next circle comes on through though, blank, and it shifts up towards Danching.
With Dopeness, they've pretty much been here the entire time. This feels like a very, very classic thing coming through from Dopeness. In the meantime, Ulf, like we said, they had to leave some of those points.
ပြန်ခေါ်လိုက်ပြန်ခေါ်လိုက်
They were a little bit worried, not as courageous as, let's say, Alpha 7. So they moved down towards Tuling. Or if we get the
တစ်ခါပဲလား
reservoir,
တ
all
ခါပဲ
the
ပြန်
players
ခေါ်လိုက်
back up again. They got a lot of loot as well, I imagine, as they shifted over towards the eastern side, understanding that with the playing path.
တယောက်ကခီးပြီးတယောက်ကနောက်ထပ်ဟိုဗာလေ key point နေလိုက်ရမှာပေါ့
So a slight risk, but overall did work. E-Arena finding South
ဇုံရတော့မင်းဇုံဘက်မှာ
piecing themselves back
ဇုံရ
together,
တော့ကိုယ့်ဘက်မှာပါဟုတ်လား
on that eastern side. That is a weird and unfortunate rotate for them. Looked like they had to go very far to get the reset, which means they'll be likely playing edge later on. Revel
ဟောအဲ့ဒါ
finding
replay လား
Easy
ဩ
Bad Boy and instantaneously getting the flush. Nining them so far. The team is bruised and bleeding, but they are still going.
And they've got all 3 of their players who were recalled up on that northwestern side, starting to make their way away from it. With a little bit more loot, hopefully moving forwards with some sort of strength, but getting into the next zone may be tricky. Over towards Danching, kind of only E-Arena sits on their side of the circle. Everybody else is just clumping straight towards that southwest side. And it's not looking super easy to try and navigate. RRQ wanting to
တကောင်နဲ့တကောင်နဲ့ရောင်ကြီးတကောင်နဲ့ဝင်လာလားရ
71 GS with a little bit too
တကောင်နဲ့ဝင်လာရောင်ကြီးတကောင်နဲ့ဝင်တာဘာလို့က Power Ranger လားဒုက္ခ
So interesting. I love being able to get
တရားစေးကြီးနဲ့ဆိုရင်အမအသာဟုတ်ပါကောင်နဲ့ဆင်းပေါ်ရေးစေး
just because we got to see E-Arena there and just the speed at which they're flicking between what were they doing in the current moment, what's going on with the current map situation, zooming in, out, seeing what res beacons are in play. It's a lot to take in on Rondo. Very, very difficult map.
Rest ဝင်မဆော့ rest ဝင်မဆော့
especially
ဒီ
at
ပါ
this
တာ rest က
level.
ဟိုသူက official ဟိုထွက်လာတော့မှာဆော့
Over the map, they're not going to let you
China
get
watching
that
my
aggression
video.
going, not going to allow you to push in
ပြန်ခေါ်လိုက်
without any kind of clap back. RRQ does move over towards the northern side, gets that reset. We'll start to move down towards that south side.
ဗီကောပါတာတော့မှ KRH အဖွဲ့ကတသိန်းလုံးပြုတ်တယ်တယ်နော်ငါအန်အောင်လို့မဆုံးအဲ့ရအသိန်းကိုငါ
10 long guards have a little bit of a
အဲ့
dip
ကို
down
ရီးယားကောင်
the bottom here.
ဗီကောပါတာတော့မှတသိန်းလုံးပြုတ်တာတယ်ဟီ
And on the south side with 1 Elim, it's Tianba at the top of the table still. They've been a lot more reserved over the course of this match, not wanting to get stuck in. Well, actually, they were forced to be a little bit more reserved because they did go down in the hot drop earlier on.
Yeah.
So they are now playing not necessarily on the back foot, but certainly not from a big win on this engagement like Alpha 7. Who have managed to transition away from their game. They're all the way up on that north side there. You can see the backstop for E-Arena, who spent a long time getting away from Stadium. But the circle sends to the north side of Danching, and all of those teams that committed south blank, they're now going to have to reconsider.
Yeah, there's a
အဲ
lot
ဝိုင်း
of
ကြီးစုံနဲ့ပြန်ဝင်လိုက်ဟိုက
a lot of position to play on this north side. Actually, I
I'm
think the
arguing
most
about
interesting
here.
spot at the moment is sort of that dead land, which has a fair few compounds that sit through it. You can kind of fight down. You can have, I would say, probably 2 teams there, and then you can play out towards the northern edge slightly, where the
နားရနော့ရေးရောင်ကြီးတဲ့သူကအဲ့ဒါကြီးပဲကျွန်တော်ပြောအဲ့ဒါကွာတဲ့သူကဒီမှာကွာဟိုထိရဆိုတိနေရကွာတဲ့အရီနာဘေးအောင်မှာလို့မဟုတ်ထိရဆိုတိနေရကွာနံပါတ်တွေပေါ်လာပြီဆိုပြည့်ုံမယ်ငါလောက်ကို
Oh my god, it is clustered right now in Danching. Lots of teams want to get a move on, control that res beacon over towards the north side would be a big deal, but you've got Yangon Galacticos. They are flying in towards that. RRQ are looking for that position, as well as Alpha 7, who did get themselves a little bit of a lucky break, the fact that this circle went north, but I think that they've battled for this, and I don't think that I'm too unhappy that they get a little bit of luck here towards the middle of the game.
Don't think they're going to be able to get to that recall tower before Yangon Galacticos. Unfortunately, it is pretty closely fought though, and they might want to just set up for it. RRQ could third party, but the brunt of it will fall on Yangon Galacticos right now. And Yangon maybe actually looking to send even further on and not get stuck into this fight at all. The recall tower being available for just under 4 minutes now, remaining. It is going to be
Oh,
a powerful asset
if
if you can keep control of it.
ဒီဘက်3အောင်ရထားမှာ
It's
သူ
a
တို့
very big
ဟုတ်
deal.
တယ်
Like I
3အောင်ရ
said,
ထား
though,
တယ်
you see here,
ဒီဘက် 3အောင်ရ
Alpha
သူ
7
တို့
controlling the northern portion of these compounds, and then down towards the south side, you've got Yangon Galacticos. Outside of that, though, it's very open. It
သူ
actually
တို့
is
ဟို
very
ဟာ
open,
ဗာ
this
လေ
area. Most teams
လော
would
တယ်
probably
သူ
like to
တို့
play over
ချေး
towards
ထက်
that
နည်းနည်း
northern edge, where there is the
စေးပြီး
woods
ဆော့
that
တော့
you
မှာ
can
ဖြစ်မှာ
play around. There's some ridge sides in play that you kind of LOS off the back of. But oh my god, a lot of teams just hoping this ends up over towards Danqing because they have committed.
It is very, very packed in there. At least 5 teams in Danqing right now. The Wolves.
ဒါပေမဲ့ဒါရဥလောတယ်
Geeke's game
တော်တော်တာနေနေရမှာ
really
ရထား
difficult.
ကို
I
မော
feel
င်က
like
တ
Geeke
လုံး
have
ရ
been
ထားဆို
punished
နေရမှာ
every single turn
That's
of
it.
this match. I think that if we got a count of who's been eliminated the most, it would be fairly populated by
ကစားသမားရမမြောင်နံပါတ်တွေဟုတ်လားဒါပေမဲ့ team man တော့သိရမလား team man တော့သူတို့သိရမလားပတ်ကြည့်ပါ
pretty sturdy stuff.
ထိလို့ရှိရင်သူကလေဖက်ဖွားတယ်တဲ့မလား
Got them out on the northern flank.
hit မကာလီပေါ်တယ်မလားထိရ
Still
ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်
holding on.
Geeke, the undead in game, now looking to slowly
ထိသွားလို့ရှိရင် hit မကာလီပေါ်ရလေ
shamble towards the center.
team man တော့သိရကွာသိရမင်းအဲ့လို
Sink
မျိုးသူ
their teeth into it, see what they can get done here versus the Wolves because, you know, all things considered, honestly, Wolves are having a
ဒီ
decent
ကို
game.
ပြင်းနေ no why လားမ no why လားဘီနာမနမေတက်လာရင်သိရပါအဲ့တော့သောင်း
They
ဆူ
send a
ပဲ
little bit further towards that
ဟို
north
ပါ
side.
လေအဘီနာဘေးမှာကြာရမ်းပြရ no လားမ no လားတီလားမတီပါလဲမသိ
Off the back of this small mound. Teams are happy though. Teams are very happy, in fact, that we are heading back down towards Danqing. Goodness me, all that work to try and find a position there for it to only go north. You would be fairly upset. Egos though will crash in towards a building. Not a care in the world for the vehicle either. He just wants to get inside, get a position to play, and work off the back of this. They've got AGAL though in the vicinity.
Yeah, the inside negotiations from Danqing are tense, but it's the south side that we've hopped on towards here with Goat Team and Alula that is going to have to move. It's going to have to get dynamic. Ulf could potentially bear the brunt of the pressure, could get third-partied. The west side as well with Nongshim and 721 GS have to move on in as well.
ခီမစီယာကူလီရဲ့ဆလောနဲ့ပေါ်တင်းဖူးပါညာဟုတ်
Geeke continue to tear limbs.
အပါခေါ်လိုက်မှတင်းနေနေပြတာဟုတ်ပြီ
Their form in towards Danqing. And they lose Ragnarok. That's the price they pay. But with 3 players, it's still doable from the inside.
Easy Van Boy looking for that cheeky angle around the aircon unit.
တွေးဖြစ်ကြရင်မရှိဘူးတော်တော်ထုံထုံထုံတော်တော်လုပ်တည်
A bit obvious, almost. Safji underneath, Ulf taking a little bit of punishment over towards Goat Team, but they have the inside edge, so it's quite surprising that Goat is taking the fight to them so well.
No, eh?
Alula, R3B will find a shot over towards Speedy.
ဟိုဘက်လမ်းစားဝလာရော
Here very early.
ဟိုဘက်လမ်းစားဝလာရော
I feel like Dopeness, outside of some of the good games they've had, which have a little bit lucky at times, they just don't have that firepower, the defensive capabilities.
စီကန်တပွဲရတော်တော်စီပြ10မဲတောင်ရမှာဟုတ်တယ်10မဲရဝိုင်းတော်တော်ဆင်ပြေသွားပြီ
Alula went for a wild crash, by the way, from the area.
40ကျော်လောက်ကွာ40ကျော်ဟိုဟာဖြစ်သွားလို့ရှိရင်စောစောစီစီမှာဟိုဖြစ်သွားရတယ်
On their
Yung
feet.
nandiyan siya tayo.
Goat Team similarly have pushed it towards Ulf, and it's not going well. Kind of for either team, but Ulf right now on their last player alive on the fight on the south side.
အဲခုနလွယ်အိတ်ကြီးဗီဒီယိုပုံစံလွယ်တဲ့အိတ်ကြီးကဘာကြီးလဲမသိဘူးကျွန်တော်
Are shut down now.
တိတော့တိတယ်ဘာကြီးလဲမသိတာမသိတော့ဘူးပတ်ကြီးဆော့အဲ့လွယ်ကြီးပဲအဲ့လွယ်ကြီးပေါက်တာအဲ့ဘာလွယ်ကြီးလဲ
down.
အဲ့ရှိရလေအဲ့ဝစ်အဲ့ငွေလုံးနေကောင်ရေးရှိရ
On that angle, it looks like they may be able to stay alive as 4 after a crash onto Ulf.
For Solus, I just don't see him as the guy anymore to get that 1v. What is it now? Yeah, the Goat Team didn't lose a single player. Very, very interesting stuff. I'd love to see a replay of how all that went down, just because.
ဘယ်နာပြစ်လဲမပေါ့အတန်ပေးကြတာဟုတ်ပြီ
You'd expect that to be a much easier fight there for them, but they have had a tough approach into this game. A lot of it has been on the back foot so far. But now Goat gets to move on as a 4-man.
A massive boon to them on that south edge. The north side starting to get a little bit more tense as well with Nongshim Red Force, Alpha 7, Yangon Galacticos, RRQ all starting to